In this lesson, we're going to learn about various ways that we can create holes inside of Mastercam. You can carry on with your file from Lesson 6, or you can open the supplied file MCU 2D Mill Lesson 7. To get started, we're going to select the Setup 1 view sheet to ensure that our WCS construction and tool planes are properly set. Next, we're going to select the facing operation in Setup 1, and we want to move the insertion point into Setup 1. I'm going to temporarily minimize Setup 2, so that way I'm only looking at Setup 1. We're going to be taking a look at how to drill the holes in the backside of our part. So we want to start by expanding the 2D mill, selecting Drill, and start to select our points. Now I should note that by default in Mastercam, you can select center points as well as quadrant points. So we're going to go to the Auto Cursor dropdown, select Arc Center, and use the lock icon. This way we can automatically select the center point of holes, and this will make the selection process go a little bit quicker. Once we're done, we're going to double left click on the screen, and that'll unlock the Arc Center icon. And notice that everything is grayed out and we're not able to select anything. The dialog on the screen tells us to select one or more entities to add or remove from the feature list, and select an arc or edge. If we right click, we don't have any OK icons, but if we double click again, this will get us back into our hole definition dialog. We've already taken care of the order in which we want to drill the holes, but we can automatically sort them based on various things, such as X plus Y plus if we want to do a zigzag, and we can explore these various options. So if you don't automatically select the holes in the orientation you want to drill them in, you can explore some of the sorting options that may or may not help reorganize those holes. We're going to go ahead and say OK. Make sure that we're using the drilling toolpath type, and we want to select the tool that we want to use. So notice that inside of our tools that we don't have any drilling tools. We're going to go to Select Library Tool, and notice that this automatically brings up the mill inch database. I'm going to select Tool 1 Center Drill and say OK, but notice that it replicates Tool 1 that's already in here. So we're going to right click, we're going to edit the tool, and we want to go to Next, and we want to change the tool number to 15 and Finish. We're also going to put the comment as Center Drill. Notice that we have a stock option inside of our drilling toolpath, and this will dictate how far we want to drill down. Now in our specific case, we're just doing a spot drill, so we're going to leave it as default. Under cut parameters, we have various options in here as well. Because again, we're doing a spot drill, we're going to leave it set to drill counterbore. We're going to go to our linking parameters. We're going to set a clearance plane to 0.1 absolute, retract to 0.1 incremental, top of stock to 0 absolute, and we're going to set the depth 0, which is based on our selection, but we're going to use this calculator icon. This will allow us to extend the tip of the bit based on whatever the diameter of the bit we're using. So in this case, notice that it's automatically extending it minus 0.037. If we say OK, it'll put that inside of our dialog, and we can OK that operation. So now if we take a look at it, all the yellow lines are our rapid movements, and the blue lines are our feed movements. Now each of these will go down a distance of 0.037 into the part. And you can tell that by when you rotate, the blue line is extending past the top of the part. I'm going to go back to my view screen and fit, and back to my toolpath. Now in this case, the holes are actually different diameters and different depths. If we rotate this around, you'll notice that the small hole goes all the way through, while the larger hole stops at a certain point. If we want to figure out what the diameter of each of these holes are, we can go to our Home tab, and we can select Analyze Entity. If we select the circle, you'll notice that we get this arc edge properties on the screen, and it'll tell us exactly what its diameter is, 0.201, which tells me that this is tapped for quarter 20. If we select this hole, it tells me that its diameter is actually 0.125. So we need a 0.201 or a number 7 drill bit, and we need a 0.125. What we can do is we can replicate this toolpath, or we can create a new toolpath. We're going to go to our toolpath tab, again select drill, and this time we need to select the holes that we want to deal with. We're going to use the auto cursor option for arc center, and we're going to lock it in again. And we're going to take a look at just these smaller 0.125 holes. Double click and say OK. And this time the tool, again, we're going to select from the library, but we're going to filter the tool. We're going to filter it based only on drill bits, so we're going to select none, and we want to take a look at just the drill bit icon. Say OK, and this will display only drill bits. We could also filter by the diameter, but let's go ahead and just scroll down until we get to an 1/8 inch drill bit. We'll say OK, and we'll say drill small holes. Again, we're not going to use the stock in this instance, but under cut parameters, this time we want to change it to peck drill. Peck drill will allow the drill bit to go down a certain amount and come back, and this will help with chip extraction. Under linking parameters, we want to make sure that our depth is set to associative, and we want to select a point. I'm going to select the bottom of the hole, and then I'm going to use the calculator icon to extend that depth. We're going to say OK. And if we rotate this part around, we should notice that the holes extend just barely past the bottom of that. Now in this instance, we still need to go back and machine this pocket, but making sure that we extend past that will help. I'm going to go back into the parameters, and I'm going to extend this minus 0.08, say OK, and regen the operation. We want to create one more drilling operation. In this case, we're going to carry on with the peck drill, holding down the right mouse button and drag it after and say copy after. We want to go into the geometry, and we're going to clear all points by right clicking and saying delete all, and then we want to select more. Again, we're going to use the auto cursor arc center option, and we're going to lock it in, and we're going to select all of the larger holes. We're going to go into the parameters, under the tool, and we want to select a new tool. Also note that our center drill came in as tool number 82, so we're going to edit that tool, and we want to change its tool number to tool number 16, and finish. Notice that we have an option, update assembly in all operations that use it, and we're going to say OK. And then we want to select a tool for our new operation. We're still on the drill bits, and this time we want to look at a number 201, which turns out to be a number 7 drill bit, and we'll say OK. And again, we need to edit this tool, because this specific one we need to make sure is tool number 17. We're going to change our comment to drill large holes, and we want to go to our linking parameters. In this case, we need to change the associative depth to the bottom of this hole, and we want to turn off the depth extension because we're going directly to the bottom of a blind hole, and regenerate. So at this point, we've faced the back of the part, we've done a spot drill on all the holes, a peck drill on the smaller holes all the way through, and a peck drill on the larger holes down to their blind depth. At this point, let's move the insertion point to the bottom of setup 1, and let's save our file so we can move on to the next step.